She's my dear friend, and I'm sure she's got a lot of wonderful things to say. Here she is, Carey Loch.
How about a round of applause for Matt Ferguson as the MC? All right. If you ask my colleagues, they'll tell you that I always get what I want. It's not necessarily true. It's usually true. When I do, it's not because I negotiate, it's because I use influence in my relationships. I don't ask what's in it for me, I ask who's in it with me. So when I have a big idea or I have a challenging obstacle, I sometimes realize one of two things. Either one, I know what I need, but I don't know who to go to, or two, I know who to go to, but I don't have a relationship with them. So you're probably sitting here right now thinking, I know plenty of people, but I'm asking you, do you have the right people in your relationship circle? Because if you want to get the right answers, you have to talk to the right people. I have a theory for finding those people and building a relationship with them, and I call it the 3 Ps. The first is product. Many times we make the mistake of reaching out straight to the top or reaching out blindly, when what we need to be doing is figuring out who in an area where we want to work with, who in that area gets things done. And when you find this person, it's probably going to be most of you, you're already going to discover that they're busy and that they're over-involved. So if you want to partner with them, you'll need to do your homework. You can't assume that they're going to be just like you. You need to discover what their role is in their organization. What are their office politics? What are their challenges? One of the most significant things that you can discover, commit to memory, and be respectful of when working with people at a university in particular is their busiest and most challenging times in their job. Who in here would reach out to someone in residence life to do a new initiative in the month of August? It's a bad idea, right? Right. I wouldn't reach out to my colleagues in athletics the night before a football game. I wouldn't get the answers I'm looking for, and I'd lose credibility. The second P is principle. The one thing I know for sure is that I refuse to work with people who don't care about students. I will only work with people who care about the student experience. It's okay if they don't have the exact same values as me. It's okay if they care about a lot of other things, but they have to care about that. This year, our dance marathon will take place in our 8,000-person basketball arena for the first time ever this coming weekend. Because last year, people from athletics came, got excited about it, and wanted to be a part of it. And that's very exciting for me. FTK. Sometimes when you're working with people, particularly if they're outside of student affairs and don't get it yet, the answer is no. I love it when I get a no, because it gives me an opportunity to learn more about their perspective and more about their limitations. So then I'm going to take that, I'm going to ask all sorts of questions, and I'm going to commit it to memory and use it in the future. But a lot of times they say yes. And I love yes, and I know how important it is to say thank you. But you can reinforce your shared values if you say thank you the right way. I refuse to thank people for helping me personally. I'm notorious for saying, this isn't my daughter's Sweet 16, this is my job, this is your job. We're not doing something for each other, we're doing something together. When we had a campus dean recently who made the decision to include students in a popular event with Gloria Steinem, those students reached out to her that night and thanked her personally. A little nudging from their advisor. It was a genuine and physical reminder to her, though, that her decision positively impacted their lives. The third P is personality. So let's say my next big idea involves working with admissions, and I know 3 people in admissions. If principal and product are already satisfied, doesn't it make perfect sense that I would work with the person I like best? Yes. It's not selfish, it's smart. It's human nature. I know that my primary motivator for loving my job is that I care about the work that I do and I care about students. But a very close secondary motivator is that I also choose to work with people I like. So every day I get up and I go into the office knowing that I'm going to be greeted by fun and talented people. So you need to put away the laptop and the phone. We all need to engage face-to-face because we need to discover what people's personalities are to know that they're going to gel with your own. I look for people who get excited. I look for people who ask good questions. I look for people who speak fluent sarcasm. It's very important. Whatever you choose will matter to you. And when they get to know you, it will be hard for them to tell you no. So here's the cool thing about this theory, is that I don't believe you need to have all 3 factors satisfied to produce significant results. We can be 2 hardworking people who care about the same thing, and that's very good. We don't need to be friends. It's a good place to start. But I know over the years that I've seen something spectacular happen when you're able to work with someone who satisfies all 3. I call it this like magical trifecta, where all of a sudden, something that would have been impossible alone becomes completely and totally plausible together. We get excited about it, we start talking about all of these other things. Because when 2 talented people with common values and shared chemistry work together you can rip away red tape, you can remove roadblocks, you can just pave the way, because anxiety is overridden by excitement. At some point, you will realize that you have people in your circle who don't belong there, and you need to throw them out. You do. Because you need to accept and be okay with the fact that you might not have enough room to keep them in there to make room for the people that you need, and that's okay. You have limited resources, you need to be strategic not to waste them. Through this process, you're doing something else that's really important. You're building your personal brand and developing capital with the people that you're working with. You're showing them what makes you tick. You're giving them a little bit of insight as to who you truly are and why you do what you do. So at some point you've engaged them, they will listen to you. So yes, they will hear you, and maybe they will help. So now you're going to go out there and you're going to figure out who's missing in your circle, and you're going to find them. You're going to build a relationship, you're going to share a dream, you're going to do something awesome together. Because if you work with the right people, you stop asking questions and you start making plans. Thank you.